We had never seen a LeBron James before. You were comparing him to something that you would never seen, and you're doing the same thing with Lamar Jackson. Good morning. Welcome to another episode of HardFoul Radio. Appreciate you for tuning in today. This is the show that values time, so let's not waste any. Let's start today off with a little mental exercise. Act like you didn't watch the game last night, okay? Just throw last night's game completely out, okay? You didn't watch. Real simple. You didn't watch the game. I just want you to think about Lamar Jackson. And why it matters when you think about Lamar Jackson that you don't think about last night's game is because too much of the opinions and thoughts on Lamar have been, what have you done for me lately? And not, what did you do last season, or what did you do last month, or how many accolades do you have? No, what did you do for me literally last Sunday? And that seems to be where Lamar ends up on the pyramid scheme of how great of a quarterback is he. Did he have a good game? Well, then I guess he's a top 5 quarterback. Did he have a bad game? Well, I guess he really can't throw, and we all know what we were talking about. So throw out last night's game. Just do this exercise with me. So think of Lamar in the actuality and the facts and what he's proven throughout his entire career. League MVP. This season, he's averaging more combined yards than all but I think 10 NFL teams by himself. A guy that has led the league in passing touchdowns. A guy that has been a 1,000-yard rusher as a quarterback. A guy 2 years ago during his MVP season, to throw out for you stat freaks out there, he led the NFL in tight window completion percentage. Yes, that's a thing. So those are the accolades and what he has. That we know about Lamar Jackson. He has done this. So why do we still critique him? Why does the media still critique him the way that we do? Not necessarily you or I. Like I said, throw out last night's game. You know, better yet, throw out this entire season. Okay? Throw out the season. Do you know why it's so hard to grade Lamar and for Lamar to be graded fairly? Is the better way to phrase that. Well, there's the obvious reason, skin tone. Then there's the slightly less obvious reason, but still out there. We've never seen him. And what I mean by we've never seen him is there has been this magical, hypothetical quarterback that we've all had in our mind that is the perfect combination of running and passing. You've made this character on Madden. You've seen examples of this in the NFL. You want to go all the way back to Fran Tarkenton. You want to go to Randall Cunningham. You know, Dante Culpepper to a degree, Michael Vick. We've seen guys who they look close. Like they have unbelievable running skills, can throw the ball 60 yards, some a little more accurate than others. But we've almost seen it what it looks like when it all comes together. And then we saw Lamar 2 years ago, and it looked like it all came together. This is during his MVP season. And then we saw last year and said, well, that's not as good as the MVP season, so did it really all come together? Because hypothetically, in our brains, the way that we're wired to think, if you can run like that, you can throw like that, how do you get stopped on any play? We've seen examples of guys who push it, are extremely gifted in one area, but maybe not quite as gifted, but they're good in the other. 2 current examples, Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, and even Russell Wilson at this point, I'll throw in there. Guys who, they couldn't run for 1,000 yards in a season like Lamar Jackson, but they're clearly 3 of the more mobile quarterbacks. Their throwing on the run is exceptional. Their ability to evade and add time has added to their already exceptional arm talent. Now, we don't view Lamar Jackson have the arm talent that Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, and Russell Wilson does. And fine, maybe he doesn't. But they don't have the legs that Lamar Jackson has. We've seen Michael Vick, Randall Cunningham, guys who have been mobile quarterbacks, 1,000-yard rushing seasons. But they're not the passers that Lamar Jackson is. Like I said, this is your exercise for today. Exclude last night. Just don't even think about it. I went this whole first segment, and I'm not even going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you about the score. I'm not going to give you any recap from last night because it doesn't matter. Because the reason why Lamar will never get truly fairly graded is because we've never seen him. We just all think we know what it's supposed to look like. I have a 99 overall Madden QB who's got 99 speed, 99 throw power, 99 accuracy. He can just do it all. And even your all Madden quarterback doesn't complete every single pass. Doesn't take every run 99 yards for a touchdown. Why is that? And that's on a video game. Lamar has to do this in real life. Because when you are that gifted, and Lamar is that gifted both as a passer and a runner, then it comes down to, well, can you always process what the right option is? And that answer is no. Because none of us would know how to do that. You could be the greatest in the world at something. And that doesn't mean just because you're the greatest in the world at it, you're never going to know all the right times to do it. You could be the world's greatest giver of advice. Your advice is flawless, always works, always helps people. But what about the times people don't? The best advice is no advice. Are you always going to know when to not give that person advice? Lamar has top 5 passing potential. He has top 5 rushing potential. Or let's be factual. Lamar has top 10 passing potential and top 10 rushing potential. Because that's where he currently sits this season in both categories. We know he has top 5 rushing potential. He's done that before. And we also know he's got top 5 passing potential. Because he's led the league in touchdowns. And we know he is an MVP level player because he's got that too. You could run down the list of accolades. You could run down the list of things of how great he is at these things. But Lamar's never going to get the fair compensation from the media or critics or analysts or whoever you want to say, even just your friends talking shit about him. Because we've never seen the guy that he's compared to is a mythological, hypothetical figure that we've all just made up in our head since the dawn of sports. It's never existed. And Lamar is the closest thing we're probably ever going to have to it. I say this a lot, but sometimes you just really need to enjoy it. Just appreciate what you're watching. We had never seen LeBron James until LeBron James came into the league. And LeBron now, and I hope this isn't the way he goes out, but his body the last couple years, he's gotten hurt more. He plays less. He's obviously just older. That era of LeBron being that dynamic 6'8", 260 point forward, best player in the game, could run like no one else, can pass like no one else, dunk, all the things that made LeBron James so special, that's going to be coming to an end. And you could be one of the people that just said, oh, well, he didn't do this or he didn't do that. We had never seen a LeBron James before. You were comparing him to something that you would never seen. And you're doing the same thing with Lamar Jackson. Give that man his damn respect. Give that man his damn respect.